The Krethak war chief stood over the two humans, his mandibles clicking in what passed for laughter among his kind. Leo lay unconscious, his pressure suit torn and leaking atmosphere. Elsa knelt beside him, one hand pressed against the gash in his helmet, the other clutching a spent plasma cell. "Your species amuses me," the chief hissed, his translator rendering his words in flat, emotionless English. "So fragile, so soft." He gestured with one of his forearms toward the red desert stretching endlessly around them. "This world will consume you before the twin suns set. If you are fortunate, the scavengers will find you quickly." Elsa looked up at him, her face pale but defiant behind her cracked visor. Blood trickled from a cut above her eye. "We sent a distress signal, which we jammed." The chief's exoskeleton gleamed in the harsh sunlight. Behind him, a dozen Krethak warriors stood at attention, their weapons trained on the humans. "No one is coming. This sector belongs to the Hive now. Your precious Terran Union abandoned this colony 6 cycles ago." 3 years, Elsa corrected quietly. "You've been studying us. Know your enemy." The chief turned away, his voice carrying across the wasteland. "Pray the Vultures get to you first. They will be more merciful than the sand borers." He paused, mandibles spreading wide. "More merciful than us, Chief Zarkath." A voice spoke from behind him. Low, human, and very much alive. The chief whirled around. Elsa was standing now and Leo was on his feet beside her, his helmet wound sealed with emergency foam. But that wasn't what made the Krethak warriors raise their weapons in sudden alarm. Behind them, the desert had come alive. 50 humans in desert camouflage emerged from positions that shouldn't have existed, from beneath the sand, from behind rock formations too small to hide a child, from shallow depressions that sensors should have detected. They rose like ghosts, and every one of them held a weapon aimed at a Krethak heart. "I'm Captain Sarah Chen," said the woman who had spoken, stepping forward. Her rifle never wavered from the chief's center mass. "Terran Marines 3rd Recon Division. And I have to correct something you said." Zarkath's mandibles twitched. "Impossible. We scanned. You scanned for active technology. Energy signatures. Life signs at normal body temperature." Chen smiled, and it was not kind. "You didn't scan for humans who've been buried in cooling suits for 18 hours, breathing through rebreathers with heartbeats slowed to near-death levels. Funny thing about humans, Chief, we're stubborn, and we're very, very good at playing dead. The distress signal was real, but the jammers you deployed?" Elsa spoke up, brushing dust from her suit. "They work both ways. Your command didn't know you'd found us, and they certainly didn't know you'd walk right into our trap." Leo checked his rifle, his earlier unconsciousness clearly a ruse. "See, we've been studying you too. Watched you abandon 3 separate groups of prisoners in the deep desert. Always the same pattern, always the same speech." He met the chief's compound eyes. "Humans have a saying, 'Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on us,'" Elsa finished. "We were the bait, and you took it." Chen took another step forward. "You said this world will consume us before the sun set. Let me tell you about humans and hostile worlds, Chief. We evolved on a planet that tried to kill us for 3 million years. Ice ages, predators, diseases, volcanoes, we survived them all. You think this desert is harsh?" She gestured at the red dunes. "We've colonized worse. Mars, before we terraformed it, made this look like a vacation resort." "You said pray the Vultures get to us first," Leo added. "But here's what you didn't understand about Earth predators and their human prey." His voice dropped to something cold and dangerous. "Sometimes we domesticated them. Sometimes we drove them extinct. And sometimes, when they were smart enough, they learned to leave us alone." The Krethak warriors shifted nervously, their weapons tracking multiple targets, realizing they were outnumbered and outmaneuvered. Chen's expression never changed. "You mentioned the sand borers. Native predators, highly aggressive, attracted to vibration and heat. Your sensors didn't pick them up, either because you were too focused on finding humans." She raised her free hand and made a quick gesture. The Marines stepped back in unison. The sand beneath the Krethak position began to shift. "What have you done?" Zarkath demanded. "We've been generating a very specific vibration pattern for the past 30 minutes, one that mimics Krethak mating calls." Elsa's smile was savage. "The sand borers are very interested in meeting you. Drop your weapons and move toward us slowly," Chen ordered. "Or stay there and become dinner." Your choice. But decide fast. They're almost here. The sand exploded. 3 hours later, the Krethak survivors sat in restraints inside the human base, a facility that had never been abandoned, merely hidden. Chief Zarketh stared at Captain Chen with something that might have been respect in his alien eyes. "You let us escape the sand borers," he said. "We're not monsters," Chen replied. "But you needed to learn something about humans." She leaned forward. "You said the vultures would eat first. But you forgot the most important rule of any ecosystem, Chief." Elsa appeared in the doorway, cleaned up and grinning. Leo stood beside her, very much alive. "Humans," Elsa said, "always eat first.